First up, quick reminder why we're here. We have vision statements. Our vision: we believe in opportunities, achievement, and community for all. And our mission statement: the school district is built in partnership with the community, prepares our students for achievement and lifetime readiness by providing opportunities for all. If you're able, let's rise and do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great. Item 1C, action on the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion from Tracy, a second from Rick. Board, any questions on tonight's agenda? Hearing none, let's take a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Agenda is set. Next up, D, action on minutes from the July 28th meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for the regular meeting held on July 28th, 2025 as presented.
A second.
Okay, got a motion from Jen, a second from Ed on the minutes from last meeting on July 28th. All in favor? Any questions? Issues? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, minutes are passed. Next up, vouchers.
I'll make a motion to approve general checking account vouchers totaling $1,259,708.42 as presented.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion from Tracy and a second from Rick approving the vouchers and the number she mentioned. Any questions? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, vouchers are passed. Joe grabbed the sign-up sheet and there was nobody to sign up, or nobody signed up to speak. Anybody here want to speak? All right, we'll skip that. 2A, data workshop. It's got my name attached to it, so I'll recap that. The data workshop, we likely I'm going to miss something, so if anybody wants to jump in after I'm done, please do. The data workshop is something we do 2 times per year. I first want to thank Julie and her team, Whitney and her team, and all the admins for putting the data together and sharing it with the board. The board was presented with student performance, SEL data, and community and staff survey results. As a board member, I enjoy seeing all the positive things that are happening in this district, but almost more important to me is knowing that when there's an opportunity for improvement or growth, you guys get to work, set goals, and find ways to achieve them. This data also helps guide and direct the board in some of the decisions we have to make throughout the year. Some of the highlights to share. When it comes to iReady reading and math scores, our green bands get bigger and our red bands get smaller. That's a really simple way of saying we are doing great as we look at national, state, and Milton data from fall testing to the spring testing. Our spring advanced placement scores are up. Graduation rates are still very strong and trending up. SEL data shows us that our students feel safe, have good relationships, and have opportunities for involvement within our district. The Milton School District and community have met net promoter scores that are trending up. This is a score that represents the extent to which a stakeholder is willing to recommend their school or district to someone else. All very positive things for our district. This was just a recap, and I wanted to end with one final thanks to our amazing staff, from our teachers, support staff, nutrition team, office staff, buildings and grounds, custodians, and everyone else that I missed. It most definitely takes each and every one of you to achieve these high scores, and for that I thank you. Anybody else have anything to add?
John, I think you summed it up quite well. It takes a village to get the scores where they need to. And when you mentioned the red bars and the green bars, and obviously green means go and red means stop, and it really does put it in perspective of the green starts and then the green grows. But we never lose focus on the red, which is what's really important for all students.
Yeah, thank you. All right, moving on. Number 3, Finance Committee report. Tracy, you chair that. I'll kick it over to you.
Absolutely. Ross, care to join at the podium? So the Finance Committee met on Wednesday, August 6th. There were 2 items on the agenda. The first item was budget amendments 24-25. In accordance with state statute, budget amendments are submitted to the board at the end of the fiscal year for approval. Once approved, the adjustments will be published. I will turn to Ross to present the changes to the 24-25 adopted budget. But please do know that this is an action item for tonight.
Hi, everybody. Really quick update on some activities throughout the year that changed from the original fall budget. Tonight for you, I have a memo that summarizes some of the finer points of the change, as well as the schedule that we're using to print in the newspaper, potentially this Friday, as we take action tonight. But for Fund 10, we had an adjustment in revenues and expenditures of about $430,000. This is a little bit less than last year, actually, which is a good thing. But some of the largest changes were things that were outside of what was expected, obviously. On the revenue side, we had changes to our investment earnings, which had a very positive year. There was some concern that earlier in the year that was not going to be the case, but happy to say that at this point, all of our accounts are having rather good flow right now in the interest market, which we will certainly take. We did have some state adjustments to things like Common School Fund, which we estimated at the start of the year, but did not receive that final allocation until January. We did have some new sources of revenue this year in the form of OPEB forfeitures from our retirement planning. This is based on our changes to our retirement tier 3 folks that we did a couple years back. We're starting to recognize those forfeitures the year after which they are returned to the district. We also had the typical changes to federal and state grants based on carryover finalizations that were available after the fall budget was certified, as well as any changes to allotments during the course of the year. On the expenditure side, we had an identical change of $430,000, which included reductions in areas like open enrollment. Open enrollment is something very highly volatile, which we'll talk more about when we get to the annual meeting in a few weeks. But our open enrollment help payments came out far better than expected, which resulted in some savings, which was no longer a deduction at that point. We had some, that money was then forwarded and kind of parked, for lack of a better term, with some anticipated existing maintenance projects. We did have some changes to some grant awards that we matched by the revenues mentioned before. But some maintenance projects that we did take on or have some adjustments for during the year. Final contingencies for the Milton High School bleachers, rigging repairs at the Milton High School BAC, building furniture expansion, building furniture addition due to expansion of sections, and other purchase and acceleration of orders and materials due to parts for tariff concerns. We did accelerate some of our purchasing for the West Library, which was on our building capital maintenance plan from earlier this year. We also had some storm damage in the spring, which had resulted in some replacement of track and field equipment that got kind of removed from its moorings in the ground and got damaged as they were thrown across the field. We did have some allegations of grant awards, again, reference to revenue changes. In Fund 27, the changes of revenues and expenditures of about $275,000 were almost primarily and exclusively grant related from anticipated revenue and federal grants moving IDEA. We also had some shifting of transportation costs from the general fund based on specialized transportation routes. Otherwise, transportation budgets in general within budgetary allowances. For the year, again, jumping a little bit ahead to what we'll discuss in the annual meeting, I'm very happy to report that after all the revisions, the budgetary accounts for Fund 10 and 27, the revenue side of the budget came in at 99.8%. I'm sorry, that's backwards. 100.4% of revenues and 99.8% of expenditures for the year. Board of Education approval was required for any budgetary changes, and we'll publish that in the paper again this Friday if we take action. Any questions?
So Ross, I'd like to thank you and the team for not only putting the diligence into putting the budget together, but then obviously to present to us tonight. I will open it for questions, but I will move to approve the 24-25 budget changes as presented.
I'll second that.
Does anybody have any questions?
Okay, there's a motion on the floor from Tracy, second from Rick, to approve the 24-25 budget changes. One final call for questions or discussion. All in favor of the motion, signify with aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. Okay, the second item on the agenda was the state budget impacts and planning. This is not an action item, but I will turn again to Ross to present.
Sure, this is a more of a quick update. The state budget, we haven't had much chance to discuss since it was approved in early July. First board meeting in July, and we'll kind of putting together all the pieces that fell together. And unfortunately, I was not here the last meeting, so I apologize. But the state budget did have some surprises in it. Not necessarily all bad, but there was a change to two pretty significant areas that we were not anticipating. We knew the possibility was there for special education reimbursements to go up. There were many calls over the last several months to increase that reimbursement rate to 60%. It's currently now about 30% based on the past year's performance. There was discussion at the end of June about taking that percentage up to 35% and 37.5% in negotiations between the Joint Finance Committee and the governor. But as we now know, at the beginning of July, a further compromise was reached, which brought the reimbursement rate up to 42% in year one of the biennium and 45%. There are some questions out there whether or not those percentages will hold. We did not get another desired item in the state budget from the special education arena, and that was we were asking for some sufficient appropriation for reimbursement. The Joint Finance and the governor had signed into law a similar, some certain amount, which means the amount of funding designated for a certain purpose does not change. And if that amount is not sufficient to guarantee that 42 or 45%, that percentage will fall accordingly until it can be spread out equally across all districts based on their reimbursement rate. That's part one. That did result in a considerable amount of additional revenue for the district, which we've now incorporated into our planning. We also had a rather dramatic change in the multiplier for open enrollment. Over the past several decades, open enrollment has had a similar change to what we typically see in the change in the revenue limit for people, which again, 325 is exactly what we got, what we anticipated. But the amount that came through on the open enrollment multiplier was over $1,100, quite a bit higher than we had planned on. Not necessarily a bad thing for a district in our situation where we have a positive open enrollment in figure. However, it took the amounts that we budget on the revenue side and the expenditure side for open enrollment to go up almost 20%. And that's just based on our changes in enrollment, our estimates at this point. But it's becoming a very volatile item to estimate and manage, considering we don't get the finalization of those numbers until the end of October. So that's something we're going to continue to watch. But both of those items resulted in some additional margin in the budget. I'm currently working with the rest of the administration to do some high-level look at areas of need. Just simply want to move sooner than later on some recommendations. We're going to be bringing a lot of that information back to the HR committee. I don't want to go too far into that vein of discussion, but there are certainly areas of need in the district that we'd like to address if we can.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, next up, number 4, another report from a committee, governance. Ed?
Thanks, Sean. On July 22nd, we had the first reading of 42 different policies. Those were presented to the board at their last board meeting. So tonight we would be looking for a motion for approval on those. Just a quick recap on those. There were 42 presented, 30 of which were normal routine maintenance to the policies, just kind of changing language and moving some things around as recommended by Neola. 5 that are being sunset, mostly because those policies are either no longer useful or the big piece of those policies are being moved into other policies, and 7 that were new. And all those were presented to the board at the last board meeting, and I would ask for a motion to approve those for discussion.
I'll move to approve Neola and other policies as presented.
I'll second that.
Okay, we've got a motion from Tracy, a second from Rick. Is there any questions or discussion on the policy changes? Hearing none, let's go to vote. All in favor, please signify with aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Those policies will pass. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Tracy. Number 5, Human Resources, Chris Tugendorf. We have discussion and possible action on proposed additions and changes to the employee handbook for 2025-26.
Okay, so this agenda item is following our board meeting, July 28th. And those conversations, we had conversations, the Human Resources team, with our USI attorney that's been helping us with the handbook. And the first document in your board docs, page 65, outlines the last of our recommendations for this handbook edition. So you'll see we're referencing board policy, that you all just approved, and adding the words reporting structure in 2 places, along with linking in the district's organizational chart. So those are the changes from the last board meeting until now. And then all that is encompassed into the second document, which is the entire handbook.
So Chris, that's the only change that's coming forward is adding the words reporting structure.
From our last conversation on July 28th till now, that is correct.
Before we take action, I just want to thank Chris and Marcy and Chris and the HR department, because this is a lot of work put into this, so thank you very much. I'm going to make a motion to approve the employee handbook changes as presented.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion from Rick, a second from Jen. Any additional questions, discussion? Okay, all in favor of the approved employee handbook changes as presented, please signify with aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Chris. All right, number 6, new business. Discussion and possible action on children at risk support plan for 2025-26. Whitney, you're up.
Great. So you have the at-risk report plan for 25-26, so that looks at numbers for our 5th through 12th graders from 24-25 who are identified as at risk. So it breaks down our criteria areas and then gives you an overall data review of the last few years. So you can see that our percentages, our student population who are identified at risk is steadily declining, which is great, and our graduation numbers are going up. So when we look at that, we also look at our students who are 2 grade levels or more below in those academic areas, and like we talked about the green bands going up, we're seeing that with our student at risk report too. So overall, we're seeing those areas improve, and then the rest of the plan outlines from a very high level view all of the amazing things that our staff are doing within our schools to support our students who are identified at risk, as well as just all the
Any board questions?
So I did go through this document, and there's a lot here. There's a lot to digest. There's a lot that the district does for these students. So thank you and the student services and the admins and the teachers that get engaged to really focus to try to get those kids to graduation. You know, it's tough when you see 5th grade in that map, but it really is it's an achievement to see how much it's decreased at those higher levels. And thank you for all the hard work that you guys do.
Yep, we're tasked with 5th through 12th grade, but our district tracks even before that, so that we can even earlier intervene for some students who need it more.
I'd echo what Tricia said. I just wanted to say one of the things that caught my eye, I was reading this over the weekend, was page 5, the last little thing the District of Milton is committed to. As a layman in this area, I appreciate those 3 bullet points and able to something I can read, digest, and articulate back to somebody. So thank you for that. I think that's always a great thing to have a kind of a wise statement in there.
Anything else? This is an action item for tonight.
I'll make a motion to approve the children at risk support plan as presented.
A second.
Got a motion from Rick, second from Tracy to approve the children at risk support plan as presented. Any additional questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Thank you, Whitney. 7, action on staffing reports.
I'll make a motion to approve the staffing report as presented.
Second.
John, I need to abstain from this vote.
Okay. We have a motion from Rick, a second from Jen on the to approve the staffing report as presented. All in favor? Any questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Chelsea, if you could please note Tracy's abstention. Thank you. 7B, action on gifts and donations.
I'll make a motion to approve the gifts and donations with gratitude.
I'll second that.
All right, we got a motion, Tracy, a second from Rick, to approve the gifts and donations with gratitude. Any discussion or questions?
We just want to highlight, we're starting to see the lighting project donations come in. So I actually did attend an event or attempted to attend an event in the rain yesterday. They're super excited to have that lighting project go up. So great to see that coming in.
call out. All right, all in favor of approving the gifts and donations, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. 7C, meeting dates. I think Chelsea, do you have some dates for us?
I do. The new teacher breakfast is Monday, August 18th at 8. The convocation is Wednesday, August 20 at 7:45. And there's gonna be a big celebration. I don't know if you read what Carrie put out. I don't know if everyone gets that about Gene Field for 50 years. It's gonna be really exciting. Instructional, co-curricular, and student services committee meeting is August the 20th at 2:30 here in the PDC. Board development is Wednesday the 20th at 6:30 here in the PDC. Finance committee meeting, we were able to get that scheduled. That's Thursday the 21st at 6. We do need to do an HR committee meeting. I think Chris might have a few dates in mind.
So, whatever you're available, I'm happy to make my schedule available.
When do you thinking do we need it by the next meeting?
If at all possible, but if not, it's not the end of the world. I think we do need it before our first board meeting in September.
Okay.
So we can send, Chelsea and I can work on some ideas and send those out to you.
Okay, sounds good.
If
Yeah, let's do
we
that.
can't get everybody on board on between now and when school starts, we'll look right after.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and then, open houses, the middle school and high school, Tuesday the 26th. I don't have times on those. Jeremy, do
We
you?
are 6 to 7. I'll tell you in a moment. Real quick, I think there's a half hour off of that.
I think you're on the new district calendar on our website.
All right, I didn't look
The
that
middle
up.
school is 5:30 to 6:30, the high school is 6 to 7.
All right, and then the elementaries and north side are Wednesday the 27th.
Yep, so 4K3 is from 4 to 6, and then intermediate north side will be 5:45 to 7.
Chelsea, do we need to tell you if we're going to attend those in the event there is a quorum? Do you want us to send you a note? Does it really?
I believe I already put those on.
Oh, it's possible, okay.
Yeah, on the last.
quorum at any one school.
Absolutely.
Let me just double check since we're all right here.
Welcome back. That'd be really tough.
Yeah, I have the breakfast, the convocation, and the open houses on there.
Thank you.
And that's all I have.
What was the date for the 50th celebration?
The 20th.
That's during the welcome back
Okay.
convocation.
Okay, perfect. All right, anybody need those repeated?
No, it probably bears mentioning though, that the annual meeting will piggyback our next regular board meeting.
Yeah.
So folks have it on their radar.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
And the next board meeting, I think it's August 20, what is that?
25,
25th.
2 weeks from tonight.
Sounds good.
I move we adjourn.
All right,
Second.
we have a motion to adjourn from Rick, second from Tracy. Any questions, discussions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you, guys.
Rick, and